All right, people. So today is Memorial Day, which means we're supposed to pay tribute to all the soldiers who have died in wars. And I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service." And it really gets me mad how all these people are just going around saying thank you for your service when soldiers, as I've covered numerous times in my videos on my channel, they don't really fight for us. They don't fight for us. I hear a lot of people saying soldiers fight for our freedoms. That's not true. That's not fucking true, alright? They don't fight for our freedoms, alright? Because they fight in a bunch of unjustified wars that are, if you look at all the reasons why we go into a war, and I've covered this a lot on my channel as well, the reasons that we use to justify wars. If you look at, the Vietnam War, the Gulf of Tonkin incident was a false flag to get us into the war. So that was a lie. We all know about WMDs in Iraq. That was a lie. I've covered the lie of 9/11 a lot on my channel. I've covered, how the Pearl Harbor, they had advanced knowledge of Pearl Harbor. If you take a history class, you'll learn that we lied about the blowing up of the Lusitania. If you take a history class, you will also learn about the blowing up of the Spain to get us into war with Spain, or the USS Maine to get us into war with Spain. So we lied to go to war. And if you actually do your reading, I have it somewhere around here in my house, but I have the Operation Northwoods document, which talks about carrying out false flag terror events to get us into war with Cuba. That was a Department of Defense document that JFK thankfully rejected. But so our government and military wants to do many evil things, and start all these wars for the military-industrial complex. Let's take the war in Iraq. Halliburton, Dick Cheney's company before he became president, which he received a severance package while in office, by the way, worth millions of dollars. They received no-bid contracts worth billions of dollars. Oh, wow, no coincidence there, And all these other companies from the military-industrial complex are just, they keep getting richer and richer, and Dwight D. Eisenhower warned us of the dangers of the military-industrial complex and how it can be dangerous. Now, the military-industrial complex is a relationship between the people who provide materials for the government for war and the government itself. So in the military-industrial complex, it needs something to make money from. It needs to profit, and it profits from war. So that's a big reason why we go to all these wars. And then you always hear people saying, "Oh, again, these soldiers are protecting our freedoms." No, that's not true, people. I mean, look at ever since 9/11 in the war in Iraq and Afghanistan. We have had the Patriot Act, which Rand Paul did filibuster a few days ago. We had, a taking away, again, of the kind of the First Amendment. Like, they want to say, "Oh, terrorist," and then, put you into a fucking jail. Like, I mean, look at Guantanamo. Tortures and all that shit. So, I mean, ever since 9/11, you also have the TSA sexually assaulting you at the airports. You have the NSA spying on everything. I mean, William Benny, a former NSA employee, blew the whistle on the extensive unconstitutional searches and seizures of the NSA. Many people, actually. You had Thomas Drake, a whistleblower. Snowden, of course. I believe William Madsen's another one. There's a lot of prominent NSA whistleblowers out there blowing the whistle on the unconstitutional searches and the shit the NSA does. And by the way, William Benny, the guy who blew the whistle, blew it right after 9/11 because he saw right after 9/11 they started instituting this unconstitutional, draconian spying thing, shit on us. So that's why he quit and blew the whistle on it. So, I mean, ever since 9/11, we have not seen an increase in freedoms. We have seen a decrease in freedoms. Usually when we go to war, that's when they want to take the freedoms away. So, and then you might, Al-Qaeda would, attack us if it wasn't for our soldiers. That's simply not true, because if you look, how did Al-Qaeda form? How did ISIS form? They formed from funding from us. We funded them. I've gone over that evidence so many times about how we have funded radical terrorists. You know, it's just so out in the open now about how we fund, you know, the same terrorist we are fighting. I mean, that's even in mainstream news that we're funding terrorists. I've covered the evidence so much here on my channel. How many times it comes out that, oh, these terrorists, you know, it was ABC News. The U.S. is funding both sides of the war on terror, an investigation finds. Just right out in the open. And then it's like, well, they can't stop funding the terrorists, citing due process rights, whatever the fuck that means. Why are they even funding them in the first place? I mean, it's right out in the open, people. You just got to open your eyes and realize it. You know, so, and if we, you know, and if look at what we did. You know, we fucking overthrew Assad. We're looking to overthrow Assad. We're looking to, we overthrew Gaddafi, we overthrew Hussein, so we're overthrowing all these secular dictators, which are not good people, and, you know, Gaddafi's not a good person, you know, Assad's no angel, and you know, they're not, and Hussein, they're not, you know, angels, but they're sure better than ISIS. Alright, people, they're sure better than, and you know, if you realize when we overthrew all these guys, it just created more terrorists, and it created a safe haven for the terrorists to take over, you know, this country. Was there any terrorism under Saddam? No. Was there any, you know, same thing with Assad. He's not supporting ISIS. He wants to fight him. Yet we're looking to overthrow him. Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't. So the war we are fighting is not helping us stay safe. It's actually helping us, you know, stay more unsafe. You know, and people like to say, like I saw Rick Perry say, well, it's good to have a good distrust in the government, but when it comes to the military, you know, you shouldn't question the military. Hey, dumbass, the government runs the military, idiot. I mean, come on. You know, wake the fuck up, people, and stop having this, you know, this trust in the military. Like, there's some great, you know, and a lot of people in the military are good people, and, you know, a lot of generals and a lot of the military. I'm not saying they're all bad people. They're actually, you know, good people. A lot of them probably brainwashed, and a lot of them maybe some neocons in there. I don't know, but the true problem comes in the upper echelon of the government, like your Obamas and, you know, your really top people. Not your fucking typical military soldier out there. So I'm just, you know, trying to inform people on what actually the fuck is going on. And if you disagree with me, I gladly invite you to, you know, comment below, because I could go on probably for an hour or two about how corrupt our military is, and, you know, not our own military, but like the people running it are, and how many horrible things it's done. You know, like, again, overthrowing secular dictators, which has caused ISIS to take over. You know, it's fucking bullshit. They don't know what the fuck, you know, they're doing that so then they could create, oh, and now we have the ISIS. Now we have to fucking, you fight ISIS. So, and if we hadn't overthrown Hussein or Gaddafi, I guarantee you ISIS would not be as big as it is, or maybe not even existed. You know, these terrorists would have been much smaller, because, again, these people, you know, we kept saying, oh, Hussein's, you know, he's supporting ISIS, he's supporting Al Qaeda, which wasn't true. It came out, it wasn't fucking true. So there you go, people. You know, just lies, corruption, and, you know, a bunch of bullshit coming with the military and our own government. So just wake the fuck up, people. And, you know, if people think you're, you know, taking tribute to the soldiers by saying happy Memorial Day. No, you're taking tribute to the soldiers by trying to inform people of the corrupt wars, and trying to stop them, and trying to bring our boys home where they belong, not in a fucking, you know, not in a fucking unconstitutional, you know, unjustified war for the military-industrial complex, and to actually take away our freedoms. So there you go, people. Let's wake the fuck up, and let's pay tribute to our soldiers by actually, you know, trying to stop all these corrupt wars that are just killing our troops. So there you go, people. There's your fucking Happy Memorial Day video. So there you go, people.